Danny Segura for MMAfighting.com here in Mexico City. I'm with Alexa Grasso, who will be taking on Carla Esparza in the co-main event of UFC Mexico City. First of all, Alexa, you're undefeated in Mexico. I don't know if that has crossed your mind with this fight coming up. Is there something to that?
Oh no, it's amazing to fight here in my country, and I'm blessed to be here with my family, my friends, and everybody knows me here.
And I've noticed we usually talk in Spanish whenever I interview you, but I've been looking at your interviews in English, and you've progressed a lot with your English language. Is that something you've been actively working on now that you're in the UFC?
Yes, of course, I'm trying to speak better because it's necessary for my sport.
Yeah, of course. And this fight will be your fourth co-main event bout within your run in the UFC. Did you think you were going to get these kind of spots and this often? Because not many fighters get to say that.
No, I feel blessed with the UFC, and I'm super thankful because this is, like you said, this is important, and this only makes me think that they know my effort, they know how in love I'm with the sport.
And you train out of Guadalajara. I know it's the elevation is quite high there, but not exactly like Mexico City. Did you come here early? Did you do anything to prepare for the elevation here in Mexico City?
Yes, I read that you need 21 days to adapt for the altitude. So I came when September 1st, I started my camp here in Mexico City. Then I came to the Centro Ceremonial Otomí, which is higher. That is really, really tough place. And it's good. I think I did my best, and I'm ready to be in the cage with my best condition.
But you definitely feel the difference between Guadalajara and Mexico City.
Yes, of course, it feels total different. Altitude is no joke.
And in your last bout, I think the media and the fans were talking about how it's the best we've ever seen you in the UFC. Did you do any changes? What went on that made you have that type of performance against Karolina Kowalkiewicz? Because you looked as sharp as we've ever seen you.
Well, I changed my strength and conditioning. I knew a new place that names Athletics, which is amazing. They work so professional. Not only the muscles, your brain is always training too. And I think that was the key for my last fight. Also, my technique with my coach Francisco and Lobo Gym, everything is getting sharper. But I think my strength and conditioning was the key.
And before we get in to talk about your opponent, Lobo Gym has been killing it. I know Aidin Aldana recently suffered a loss, but prior to that, she was on a really good streak. Alejandra Lara picked up an amazing win as well. You're doing well. What's the vibe like in the gym? How's the energy there?
Well, Lobo Gym is amazing. We are a small group where we also choose very, the fighters has to be very professional, very responsible, very. We choose the good athletes, and it's part of you. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but it's part of the progress. And I think Lobo Gym is doing a great job with all these athletes.
For sure. And is this the first time you fight in the same card with Irene? Because that I remember in the UFC, I don't think you guys have fought on the same card.
No, in the UFC, it's our first time, but we fought in Invicta. But it's good. It's good to share now in the UFC with my teammate a card. It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And Carla Esparza, she's a great wrestler. We saw when you versed Tatiana Suarez, you had some issues with the wrestling. Are you ready to revisit those challenges? Is this a good fight to test your improvement since that fight in the wrestling area?
Yeah, of course. I did a lot of change in my wrestling and jiu-jitsu training, and I did a mistake on that fight, a big mistake, like getting out with my neck up. And this time it's going to be very different.
And, lastly for me, I know you're a big GSP fan. There's been a lot of talk between GSP, wanting to come back and fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. Both of them seem to be interested. I feel like the fans are kind of split. Some are like, no, GSP, you've done enough. Stay retired. Some say, look, if you go in there and beat Khabib, you become the greatest of all time, no doubt. How do you feel about that?
Well, I wish that he can come back and win, but if not, I still been her fan.
All right, Alexa, well, thank you so much y buena suerte el sábado.